So what's going on, guys? It's JM, it's Speedboxing. Make sure you subscribe to my channel before you click onto any of my videos. Also, comment below in the comment section if you guys have any opinions on what I'm saying in any of my videos. It really does help me out if you guys could drop me a sub or two on my channel. It is appreciated. So the Bronze Bomber, the WBC Heavyweight Champion of the World, Deontay Wilder, will be ringside and in attendance at the Anthony Joshua-Klitschko fight on April 29th in front of a massive 90,000 fans at the Wembley Arena in the UK. Deontay Wilder will be watching this fight very closely because the obvious route for the winner of this fight will be to face Deontay Wilder in a bigger unification fight, because there will be 3 belts on the line, because Deontay does hold the WBC title. And Deontay Wilder said in the past that his heart wants Anthony Joshua to beat Vladimir Klitschko on April 29th. But his head says that Vladimir Klitschko could be too experienced for Anthony Joshua, and he could be too much for Anthony Joshua at this stage in his career. I suspect Deontay Wilder, well, I know that Deontay Wilder will probably want Anthony Joshua to win this fight, because he knows that's where the money is. He knows that's where the exposure is. He knows Anthony Joshua is a megastar in the UK, and he wants a piece of that. He wants to go in there and prove he's the man in the heavyweight division. Because a lot of people have said in the past that Deontay Wilder is jealous of Anthony Joshua because the way the British fans are supporting Joshua, the buzz he's got. And in America, boxing seems to have died down a little bit in the past few years. And Deontay Wilder, as a heavyweight champion, isn't very well known in the States. And that's crazy to think about, really, because back in the day, a heavyweight champion in the States was known all around the States, was known around the world. But Deontay Wilder only seems to really have a buzz around him when he fights in Alabama, which is his home city in the United States. And I suspect he's a bit bitter over that, because obviously he thinks he's the better fighter. He thinks he can beat Anthony Joshua or Vladimir Klitschko, and he thinks that he should be the one getting the recognition here. But after the fight, I suspect Deontay Wilder to get into the ring. If Anthony Joshua defeats Vladimir Klitschko in sensational fashion, I suspect him to get in the ring even if Vladimir Klitschko wins. But I suspect Deontay Wilder will call the winner of this fight out, because Deontay Wilder wants to try and make a name for himself now. He's had about 4 or 5 title defences against decent opposition, guys like Chris Arreola, Gerald Washington, Artur Spilka. Like, these are alright fighters. They're not the elite fighters. Like, we expect Deontay Wilder to beat these kind of fighters. But Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko, Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury, Joseph Parker, these guys are a level ahead of the people he's been facing. And he has to fight Bermane Stiverne again in a rematch. It's been called as his mandatory. He defeated Bermane Stiverne in January of 2015 to pick up the WBC title. He won the fight by 12-round unanimous decision, the only time Deontay Wilder has ever won a fight on points in his pro career. And I suspect he'll beat Bermane Stiverne. I think he may even stop Bermane Stiverne this time around. So I think he'll get that work done when he fights Bermane Stiverne, and then he'll want the winner of this fight, because that's a massive fight. Even against Vladimir Klitschko is a big fight for Deontay Wilder. I suspect the Anthony Joshua-Deontay Wilder fight, if Anthony Joshua wins, not to be as big as this fight against Vladimir Klitschko, just because Deontay Wilder isn't as known as Vladimir Klitschko. Just because Vladimir Klitschko was on top for so long, a lot of people have came out to watch this fight. But it's Anthony Joshua at the end of the day, so doesn't matter who he fights, people are going to want to see him. But I suspect that the Deontay Wilder fight wouldn't be as big as this fight here with Klitschko. I still think it sells a stadium out, but does it sell Wembley out? Maybe if Deontay Wilder made a bigger buzz of himself, maybe hyped up the fight, if it happened, then maybe. But Anthony Joshua, if he beats Vladimir Klitschko, he becomes a new kind of star in boxing. He reaches a new height in boxing. America are already queuing up for Anthony Joshua to get him on their networks. HBO, Showtime have been battling over this pay-per-view, and they've came to a deal in which Showtime will show the fight live and HBO will show the fight afterwards on a tape delay. But Anthony Joshua has signed a free fight deal with Showtime, so he's a Showtime fighter in the States for 3 fights, and then I don't know where Anthony Joshua goes from there. He might want to sign with HBO. Like, the world will be Anthony Joshua's oyster if he defeats Vladimir Klitschko on April 29th. This guy will become a megastar, and Deontay Wilder will be licking his lips to get in there with Anthony Joshua and earn a lot of money and try and prove that he's the man who should be getting this exposure. And guys like Joseph Parker also want to get in there with Anthony Joshua. Any heavyweight who's a name wants to get in there with Anthony Joshua because they see it as being a lot of money. And yeah, the fight's dangerous, but it gets them massive exposure and it gets their face on the map. So yeah, this is just my opinion on this. Comment below yours. It's Jay.